We'll be talking on the autocratic leadership style. Now, first of all, what is autocratic leadership style all about? Autocratic leadership style is a management style where the leaders control all the decision making and give opportunities for just small input from the other organization members or for the other members of the business center or the business. So autocratic leaders believe that they have all the knowledge the knowledge that are needed in the business, and they need no input, no support from the followers or other organization members. So autocratic leadership style is considered old leadership styles contradicted by so many people. Now in this our video, we are going to pick one of the autocratic leaders that we know, which is here we have no other person but Almighty Adolf Hitler of Germany, the late Adolf Hitler of Germany. We are going to pick his leadership style, which focuses on autocratic leadership style, and we show you some of the things that he did as far as autocratic leadership style is concerned. So don't leave this video.
Hitler was an Australian by birth, a German politician who was a dictator of Germany from 1933 until his death in 1943. Hitler's powerful and determined leadership style was very successful in the beginning. Hitler directed some tactics that dominated in the first phase of the World War II. These bold tactics included sudden shock attack against airfield, communication center, and military installation. He was the inspiration behind great victories like the Battle of France in May 1942. It was Hitler's leadership style and inability to make decisions at critical times that led to the undoing of Nazi Germany. Thank you.
No one goes against my decision. No one defeats me. I am the great almighty Adolf Hitler. No one goes against my decision. No one defeats me. I am the great king of Germany.
I'll be talking on the advantages of autocratic leadership style. 1. It saves time. Here, the leader is not expected to consult other members before he takes a decision. He rushes to a decision in times of emergency. 3. It is good for small organizations as it demands less or no consultation,
Attention!
Yeah, you can see that the military of Adolf Hitler are getting ready to welcome
Release!
Almighty Hitler.
Hitler the Great of Germany
And
is
Almighty
coming.
Hitler
All we need is to prepare
is coming
and
right now
welcome him.
to give instructions that he will not like anyone to obstruct the instructions as an autocratic leader. So the general goes to inform him that the soldiers are ready.
Troops are ready, sir.
He is going to meet his soldiers, to give them instructions on the upcoming war. So in his instructions, he's going to tell them to focus on how to win the war, so as to praise him, Hitler. And the soldiers have no choice but to accept. So he instructed the soldiers to target the enemies from base 1.
Yes, sir.
The soldiers accepted, and now the soldiers are getting ready to go to base 1 to fight as instructed by the king Adolf Hitler. Now the soldiers will go to base 1 to attack because their king instructed them to go to base 1. And one reason why Adolf Hitler gave them instruction immediately was because it came as an emergency that the enemies are attacking. So because of that, he took the decision fast. He took the decision faster, and the soldiers approached the enemies at base 1 So here we are going to see that the soldiers defeated the enemies because they listened to the instruction of the autocratic leader Adolf Hitler. So what are we saying here? It is advantageous to use autocratic leadership style when you are in an emergency situation because you don't need to go and consult the others before taking the decision, else you may miss the opportunity or your enemy may attack you. So that is one of the characteristics of the autocratic leadership style and the advantages of autocratic leadership style that Adolf Hitler used. So now the soldiers are going to kill the enemies and defeat them. As you can see, the soldiers are going to kill the enemy. The enemy is dead right now, and they are going to hail Almighty Adolf Hitler for his decision and for their braveness in the battle. The soldiers, the soldiers finally killed the enemies. The soldiers finally killed the enemies due to the fact that they listened to Adolf Hitler's emergency decision.
I'll be talking on the characteristics of autocratic leadership style. One, it provides leaders with the ability to dictate work methods and processes. So it tends to create highly structured and very rigid environment. Three, it discourages creativity and out of box thinking.
On the other side, the soldiers were now happy after discovering that the enemies are all dead. They are now happy. The soldiers are celebrating and they have to go back and inform their almighty King Adolf Hitler. Today is another day. The second day, Adolf Hitler is going to send the soldiers for another war. And that's the same enemies who...
Yes, sir. Master, our last attack was in base 1. And this time around, I'm sure the warriors have come more prepared. I suggest we go to base 2.
No. No one goes against the decision of the great Adolf Hitler of Germany. Launch attack at base 1. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
That the soldiers are now many, it is good or will be good if they attack from base 2. But Adolf Hitler refused due to the fact that he is an autocratic leader and he believes that no other decision can challenge his. So the soldiers have no option. They had no options because they were given no room to express their suggestion, to give their own ideas on how they can contact the enemy, on how they can attack the enemy. So they had to follow the rule of the autocratic rule of Adolf Hitler the second day, and as you can see, all the soldiers were dead except the general who struggled to meet almighty Adolf Hitler to inform him that the soldiers are coming after him, that the enemies are coming after him, and the soldier is going to die after expressing that to Adolf Hitler. Due to the shame and fear of Hitler, he is going to kill himself rather than accepting defeat from the soldiers, from the enemies, rather than accepting defeat from the enemies. So it is clearly stated that autocratic leadership style, it is not only having advantages but also disadvantages, since it does not give room for others to give a suggestion. So because Adolf Hitler refused to listen to the general or the soldiers' idea on how to attack the enemy this time, they became captured by the enemy.
I'll be talking on the disadvantages of autocratic leadership. Though autocratic leadership has some advantages, there are also some disadvantages which criticize the style. With autocratic leadership style, there is no group contribution. That is, when a leader takes decision, he does not give room for other members to contribute, which does not help the style. For example, during the war, Adolf Hitler took all the decisions alone, and when the commander tried to suggest, he refused and said no one dares challenges him. And so with autocratic leadership styles, only the leader takes the decision and the members are not contributing. Moreover, we'll be talking of morals. With autocratic leadership, it does not boost morale because there are some participants who feel really better and exciting when they take part in decision making, and by so doing, if they are not given the room for discussion, it does not boost their morale, thus criticizing the theory.
Adolf Hitler is an autocratic leader. On July 29, 1921, Adolf Hitler became the leader of the National Socialist German Workers. Under Hitler, the Nazi Party grew into a mass movement and ruled Germany. State from 1933 to 1945, Hitler's early years did not seem to predict his rise as a political leader. His character. Hitler's typical personality traits were impulsive, egocentric, cold, aggressive, unempathic, and thought-minded. Hitler's nature discloses that such characteristics are significant of an eminent level of psychotism. Thank you.
As a conclusion, autocratic or authoritative leaders are most consistent in their approaches and systems. The procedures and rules might seem rigid, but the result always lead to corporate success. Now, autocratic leaders are considered to be very authoritative, but as a conclusion, we are now trying to see that it is advantageous in some aspects. However, excess control can also result to low employees' morale and employees' engagement. Therefore, leaders who exercise autocratic leadership or leaders who exercise autocratic leadership styles should strike a balanced process to attain organizational objectives. Although their primary aim should be to achieve business goals, as leaders, it is also their responsibility to add value to employees. The correct leadership approach used at the right time will foster a long-term employee-leading relationship. So, as a conclusion, autocratic leadership style can definitely be used with other leadership styles in order to strike a balance in the leadership styles that organizations need. Thank you so much for staying connected to our video. See